Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
Hi, I'm Rena.
And today we're going over the Kickstarters I backed in October, and I think there's at least one that you're going to want me to back.
There's so many.
There's a whole bunch. There's 22 of these, Kickstarters and Game Pounds, 22 total. How many do you think I backed?
11.
Less than 11. We'll go with that for the clues. I know how many backed. We'll cover at the end.
Oh, you know how many you backed? That's so good. I'm so happy to know that you know
Well,
that.
I count them up. I like to count them up to make sure that I actually didn't go completely crazy. But I didn't. I actually had a lot of self-control. That will be the hint that you get this week. Shelf control. A lot of shelf control. And with that, let's go ahead and start this off. As usual, these are the Kickstarters I backed in October. These have end dates of October, which means I always get a few questions like, well, what about this campaign that ended in November? Those will show up in what I backed in November. I always go by the end date. So these are the ones that end in October that I backed. And with that, we'll start us off with the very first one, which is Artisans of Splendant Vale.
Who's it by?
Who's it by? I actually don't know who the designer is. I believe it's a team of designers. Maybe. I'm not sure. I should know. Maybe. Artisans of Splendant Vale is from Renegade Games, and it's an adventure game. It's an adventure game. That's basically
solo?
What we have.
Two-player?
It does not play solo. I believe technically you could play it solo, but they specifically said it's not an ideal experience, and so they're not calling it a solo game. Oh, now you want me to scroll?
No, I just want to see. No, as long as you don't scroll too fast.
So none of that? Sorry.
You didn't back it.
I did not back it. Why?
It has a book.
So? What's wrong with the book?
I don't do book games.
Well, I mean, I backed Agamonia that had a book. This isn't a book. This is a flip book adventure. So each page is its own page of the journey. It's no different than map tiles. I have multiple games with books.
You do?
Just not this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Artisans of Splendid Vale is one that I was intrigued by. I was interested in, but I didn't see enough about the gameplay to feel like I needed the game. I wanted the game. It looks great, but gameplay wise, I wasn't sure what was going on there. It's not a lack of anything against the game. It's more just me not looking into it heavily enough. Although if we would have gotten to these meeple section first, maybe you would have been like, maybe. They are cute little meeples.
They are cute little meeples.
But yeah, it looks like a fun game. Looks like it's a fun engine from Renegade Games, but I don't know it. I didn't know enough to be confident spending the money on it. And like I said already, shelf control is a big factor. I'm trying to rein in my backing as much as possible because I back too many games. Next up, we have Beast. Beast from Studio Midhall. 8,800 backers, a whole lot of money raised, $500,000 plus, and this is a hidden movement. It's a hidden movement, one versus many game, where one player is playing as a beast. There's a variety of different beasts in the game.
You back this one.
Is that a guess? Are you locking in?
Yeah.
Yes, I backed this one.
So far,
Based
two
on
for
what?
two.
Based on what?
I remember you saying you liked it.
Well, that's fair. That's a good reason. Yeah, I did say I liked it. In fact, I had an opportunity after I already played, covered the campaign, everything. I had the opportunity to play online with them, doing PAX online, whatever it is. Not PAX. Doing Shut Up and Sit Down online, Shucks, Aw Shucks, or whatever. And we played a smaller, shorter scenario that was like an hour long. That was really solid. It was they basically have these things called, they're not called scenarios, they're called contracts. Contracts are the basic scenarios, which give you small variable ways to play the game. And it was another fun little contract that I had not played before and really enjoyed. It's tense, it's tough. This is a solid game. Solid little one versus many monster hunting, beast hunting experience. Next up, we have Birdwatcher. Birdwatcher, the board game. What are you laughing at? What are you smirking at?
Nah, I'm amused.
What are you amused by?
It's birds.
So?
I like birds.
Birds make you amused?
A little bit.
What? What is happening here? Birdwatcher with a bunch of cards, and the idea being that you're trying to gather these birds and take pictures of birds. You don't want to scare the birds away, and all that stuff over here is you take pictures of your opponent's birds, perhaps as well. But you're basically trying to set collection to a degree of these various birds in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun,
Did you say
dun,
no?
Dun. No, I did not.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. Well, this is usually the part we
Did
start
you
going
lay
down.
I get overconfident.
What makes you think I did not back this one?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I am too. I was intrigued by this one. It looked fun. It looked cool, but the art didn't pull me in enough, and the gameplay didn't pull me in enough. It's the kind of fun, simple game. It actually, to a certain extent, reminded me of Enchanted Plumes. Not in any other aspect other than the fact that I think this might be a game that if I played it, I'd really enjoy it and find it, whimsical and endearing and fun to add to the collection. But again, there's a difference between seeing a game on Kickstarter versus playing a game, and this one fell squarely into the seeing and wasn't enough to pull me in. Next up, we have what is it called? Don't Go In There. Don't go in there. What are you laughing at today?
Cute.
Yeah, you roll dice and you're trying to go into a ghost. It's from Road to Infamy. Do you know what that company is?
No, it was hilarious.
Road to Infamy made Canvas.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they made a canvas, and they made this little Don't Go In There. It's a little push your luck game where you roll dice into this little tower, but you're kind of committing to, you're committing to how far you're willing to pledge to get these various, like, cards that have different things on them, different scoring opportunities, different abilities, things like that, and you're committing to how much you're willing to go down, how many dice you're willing to roll. And each die you roll potentially has bad results, so you might be able to withstand what happens, but you're like, I'll bet 4 dice, and you're like, I'll bet 5 dice. And then whoever gets the cards gets the cards, but also potentially gets haunted because the dice have ghosts on them.
Yeah, I'm reading the little blurb.
Yes, from the creators of Canvas. In this game, he plays a meddling kid wandering too far into a creepy haunted house.
See, this is I always do so well with the first 3.
Yeah,
I have a great idea. Why don't you just shift it?
Shift it to the end?
And then I'll go back to it.
Okay, I'm shifting this to the end. We're going sliding down to the end, and we're going to go back to number 4. So this is a new tactic. Skip the ones you're uncertain about. Okay, Drop Drive.
I've never played it before. I should do this more often.
Drop Drive. This is, I believe you saw this one I covered. I believe you saw me playing this one. It basically has a central play area, and you drop things down to spread out into the area.
I did see you playing this one.
Exactly. And then you basically, you're trying to wander around, your spaceship's traveling, you have these links that you drop your spaceship onto the center play area, then you're navigating around space, picking things up, you're fighting space aliens. I did not back this one.
Okay, see? This was the right move of moving the other one to the back. I'm still 4 for 4 now.
Why did I not back this one?
I think it had to do with when you dropped all the pieces, the children went and hid half of them.
No, actually, almost the other way around. I almost backed this one specifically because of the kids, because Ricky wanted to play it, and it looked like it was a fun little gimmicky thing that she would enjoy. Now, this is actually a newer version of Dungeon Drop, was the original game. And this is I like this one far more than Dungeon Drop. Dungeon Drop was not for me. Ricky was okay with it. I did not like it. This one I enjoyed enough that I'd play it if Ricky wanted to, but it's still not something I'm necessarily asking for. It's still a gimmick. It's a fun little gimmick. It has a decent amount of strategy behind it, but it's still it's fast and punchy. It plays in like 25 minutes, but not one that I would be pulling out and requesting myself. The reason I did not mute my phone. I did not mute my phone, apparently.
I muted my phone.
I'm going to go mute my phone in a second.
It's so much more fun if it with it constantly going ding, ding,
Okay,
ding.
if there's another ding, we're going to mute my phone. But yeah, it's one that I was intrigued by. For myself, one of the reasons that tilted me towards the not back in camp is I can always pick it up later if I want in retail. I won't get all the extras, but this wasn't one that I liked enough to want to necessarily go all in and get all the stuff. And so the retail copy down the road will be just fine if I get that. Moving on to number 5, technically number 6, but you're just cheating now, so who really knows?
No Fractal?
Fractal Beyond the Void.
Backed it.
I did not back it.
You didn't?
Oh, you're so...
It was so close.
So, why do you think I backed this one?
I heard you talking about this one.
I did. Well, talking about this means I backed it. Fractal
There's
Beyond
so
the Void.
many. I can't keep track of all of them.
That's fair. This is one that I covered. I did have this one. I covered it. I got in a few games of it. I enjoyed it, but is that while I like the game, while I like the experience, it's a 4X game. A 4X expand, exploit, explore, exterminate, all that. You love getting tech for your various race, your alien race that you have, marauding across the galaxy, leveling up, expanding your stuff, all that stuff. It's a fun little system, and I like the action selection mechanism. I like the tech. I like all of it. It was all fun. But it's also a 4X game, and it's a 4X game with a hefty enough price tag that I wanted to be more confident on it than I was. It's the kind of game that I can easily recommend, that I easily enjoyed, and that I'm curious how much more I'd enjoy if I continue to dive into it, but it's not one that captured me enough in my initial plays to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and spend the $100 plus on this one. So I'm intrigued by it. Yeah, we'll see. Fine.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I'm muting my phone. I'm muting my phone. While I mute my phone, you can go ahead and look and keep the heroes out.
Oh, it has dragons.
It has dragons. Muting this phone. Ridiculous. Unbelievable.
I don't even know what that sound was.
That was an eBay app, apparently. Because that eBay app dings like once every month and a half, and it chose now to ding. Keep the heroes out. This is one where you're trying to keep the heroes out. You're playing as various factions, these little meeples of dragons and ghosts and who knows what, and Cthulhu-esque different things. It. I did not back this one.
Might be soon.
Well, what, might be soon?
It's so cute!
It is cute. You're teaming up as these various marauding things. So, you might take the dragon faction, I might take the ghosts or the skeletons, whatever, and then we're both working together, playing a little bit of a deck building game as we keep the heroes out. We're in the dungeon, we're trying to keep the heroes out. Am I sliding this to the end?
Yeah.
I'll slide this one to the end. Dun dun dun. We'll come back to that. But yeah, as far as before we go into it, why didn't I back it? I didn't back it only because once you factored everything in, because I do like to go all in and stuff. Once you bought all the stuff, it was going to run you roughly $100 for this. A little less than that, but with shipping, with all the add-ons, with the things, it's adorable. It really is adorable. I did back it initially. I backed it initially. Are you saying I'm backing this one? I'm backing this one apparently. For context, when I dropped my pledge, which I did drop my pledge, I was hoping this would happen. I assumed it would, and I was hoping it would. It was a little adorable Cthulhu.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, it looked fun. I wasn't sure it was worth the funness and would be played enough. I mean, if you're asking me to get it, you have to play with me though. Those are the rules.
That's fine.
You have to play it with me. Fine. So we will be getting this one apparently. I thought this would happen. I was hoping it would. But if it didn't, it's okay too. That's part of the fun. But yeah, that's going to be Keep the Heroes Out. I was intrigued. The price point was a little high. It has a degree of tower defense and combinations of asymmetric powers and all that. But you're working together in a dungeon with adorable little meeples. It's definitely tempting.
I haven't wanted to get something
in a while.
Yeah. So.
Well, part of the reason is because I usually get them anyway. So like things you would get, I usually do get. Lost Empires. Do you know anything about this? Really? Really, you don't? You sure?
No.
You sure you don't know anything about this one?
I'm not sure.
Let's go ahead and scroll down a bit further so I can show you some stuff that you don't know anything about. I'm trying to find a picture of the actual gameplay. Show me a picture of things. Things. Show me. Do you recognize these cards at all? Sort of, maybe. Like stare closer at the screen that's so far away.
Oh, wait.
There we go, maybe.
You did not back this one.
I did not back this one.
That's good.
Lost Empires. So Lost Empires, for context, is a two-player head-to-head game where you have different factions. You can deck build to a degree. You can just take the pre-scripted decks, and then you go back and forth trying to... It's one of those three-lane battlers where you have three different areas you're trying to vie for control over, ultimately to get as many points as possible as you go through end of round, see who controls what, score points accordingly, all that stuff. I reviewed this one. We played this one. I like this one, she didn't like this one, and she'd be the primary person I'd be playing this one. I liked it, but not enough to fight for it, is where I'm at with this. Whereas if she liked it, if she was like, yeah, I like that one, like Battle Line, or any of a dozen other games. For Glory, any of the other lane battlers, if she liked it, I'd be playing it, but she liked it, she did not like it.
No.
I liked it, but not enough to fight for seeing whether this one sees play or not. Overall fun game. This is from Colossal Games. Enjoyed it, but not enough to fight for it is where we're at with this one. Moving on to Masters of the Universe. I'm waiting for the snark. Go ahead, be snarky. Be snarky, by all means. Do it. You can do it. Have fun.
Is this the US one?
Have fun. This is the US one.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, fun, come on. Be snarky. Have fun.
Should we really snarky?
Yeah, enjoy.
Oh, I have no idea if you back this one or not.
Yes.
Oh. You just don't have enough shelf space.
No, I actually probably don't have enough shelf space for this. This is Masters of the Universe. This is, and she's being snarky because this wasn't really a question here. Masters of the Universe, the board game. This is the, and this is where it's interesting because you weren't as sold as I was.
I liked it.
I know you liked it, but I compared this to Rise of Moloch, and I think this has a chance of seeing more play than Rise of Moloch. And
I like the theme of Rise of Moloch better.
I am sort of with you on that, except for the fact that Rise of Moloch requires us to play 6 games for it to hit the table. This one does not, which is why I think this will see the table more often. It's not the theme aspect. Powers and abilities, I like, actually choose the powers and abilities, I liked it more in this one as well. This is for context, I didn't really go into it. This is basically you can play it cooperatively, but it's primarily designed as a one versus many experience. One player taking on the role of the Overlord, which could be good or bad, and then the other player taking on the role of the heroes or whatnot, which again could be good or bad. So you could have Skeletor as an Overlord character facing off against He-Man and a bunch of allies as you go through a bunch of different scenarios, potentially to, you know, you might have an escort scenario, you might have a just kill each other scenario. There's different scenarios you can play through, but ultimately you're combining your powers and abilities, you're leveling up as you play, all that kind of stuff. It does have a co-op mode, which means also has a solo mode, but I didn't actually play that, so I can't comment on that. For myself, I compared it to Rise of Moloch, and I like the theme of Rise of Moloch better. The gameplay, I think I like the gameplay of this one better, but most importantly for me, this one is just likely to hit the table far more often given the one-shot nature of it as opposed to the campaign nature. That's basically it, and plus it has a castle. Yeah. You look so unimpressed with the castle. Rise of Moloch is line of sight. The line of sight rules of this were actually, I think, easier than Rise of Moloch.
They were.
I think this one actually is very simple. Rise of Moloch.
Line of sight was very simple.
Yeah, they have a dinosaur. Look at the dinosaur. They have a little dinosaur from He-Man, Master of the Universe. I don't know what the dinosaur's doing there. I don't watch this show. They have more stuff, just more. They have like a unicorn things and terrain and scenery and a whole lot of money for this. But they have marble dice.
You're already getting it.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I know. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, that is Kaman's Master of the Universe. Absolutely got this one. Probably shouldn't have, but did. Anyways, yeah, that's that. Probably shouldn't have gone all in. Not that I shouldn't have gotten it. I'm happy with getting it. I shouldn't have gone all in because I wouldn't need to get all. I wouldn't need to play all this stuff. But there's miniatures and they're fun and pretty.
I should get you signs.
Like, you should get me signs.
Like little things that you hang up, that you hold up.
Mm.
Like, backed it, didn't back it, shouldn't have gone all in.
Make a deal. You can only get me the signs if you get all of them. Moving on to Quests and Cannons, the Risen Islands. Quests and Cannons from Short Hop Games. This is a, how do I put it? A sandboxy, lighter entryway game. Like, the way I put it is, it's kind of like if Merchants Marauders combined with Catan. It has that aspect of the gateway accessibility. I did play it. Yes.
Recently.
Well, not that recently. Did you play it? I can't remember if you played it with me. Oh, hey, here I am. You did play it with me. You did play.
I did.
So you played it a few times, but I think you played it one time.
I did.
You seem so sure.
Can you scroll back so I can see the board?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, the board? The board is up over here. There we go. You have your boards, and you have your sails, and you have your central island. You're like, I can't see anything.
I can see.
Let me scroll down further. First of all, I do want to focus on this. I want to focus on this. We have the Dwani, which are the dwarf bunnies.
That's hilarious.
We have the Dells, which are the duck elves.
That's hilarious.
Then we have the Porks, which are the pig orcs. And they unlock the goblins. These are goblin turkeys. They're goblins. Yeah, exactly. And then they have these player boards over here.
You have to appreciate that.
I did appreciate that. That's why I'm commenting on it, because I did appreciate it. And then we have the board here, which you'll be putting your...
I did play this game.
I know you played this one. I remember that after we talked about it. Did I back it or not?
No.
She's not confident in the slightest.
No.
Do 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 do.
How many games did we go through so far?
We're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is technically the 10th because we slid to the end.
I wish I had a coin to flip. That's not helpful.
Head or tails?
Heads.
No, it's tails. What does it mean? Does it mean anything? I don't know what it means. We didn't determine what that means at all.
You backed it.
I did not back it.
Ah!
Yeah, so this one was close. We did enjoy this one, but also it falls in that category like other games where it's a game that's targeting a lighter audience, which is fine, but it's one that I was happy to play multiple times, but one that I'm not rushing to pull out again compared to the many games I already have that are more to my taste. I enjoyed it. It's fun, but it is a lighter, more entry-level game, at least in its current form. So despite liking it, I didn't really talk about the game. It's basically a sandboxy Merchants Marauders. You can run around with your ships trying to attack other people, trying to get goods, trying to accomplish quests, all in a goal to get to like those 15 points before your opponents get to their 15 points. And then there's team modes and other ways of playing and all that stuff. And that is Quests and Cannons. Ready for the next one? Next one is Relics of Rajavihara and Montalo's Revenge expansion.
What?
Exactly. Relics of Rajavihara is a solo experience. One player. 15 to 60 minutes. 15 minutes adventure. This is a game. There's so much variety baked into this game. Rada runs through. This is a little board over here. We have your various tokens. And I don't know if you've ever played anything like this, but have you ever played like app-based games where you're trying to like slide blocks around? So like look at the screen over here. You see the screen? You're basically this adventurer somewhere on that board. I can't even see where you are. You're down here in this corner, and you have a goal of what you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to certain blocks or things. You have to like slide blocks around.
Is this Rush Hour?
It's that genre of game. But like, if you ever played these app games, like if I slide this brick forward, well then now I can't slide it back based on where it is. In order to slide it back, I have to move it further along here and be able to get around to it. Like you have these like sliding puzzles of different types of cubes and different types of situations. Not exactly Rush Hour. Rush Hour is more one-trick pony in terms of this one thing you're doing in Rush Hour, and then the puzzles just get more complicated. But it never escalates. Rush Hour doesn't escalate anything past the basic puzzle. This has escalation. It has different cubes. They're like, oh, now we have fire cubes. What do they do? Well, if you push a fire cube into that, it does this. So you have new mechanics that are being unlocked as you try to push cubes around, navigate what's going on, avoid the snakes, or fight the snakes, whatever it is, all in an effort to accomplish your objective. But it's a thing where you figure out the puzzle, and then you reset, go to the next puzzle, and then once you've done a puzzle, you only rarely play again if it's like 3 years later and you forget. Or you give it to your kids to try out. See, now she's not confident in the slightest.
No.
She's lost all sense of confidence.
No.
This is the part where she just gives up and just says things until she's right again. She's like, I'm back on track.
No.
No, I didn't back it?
Yeah.
I backed it!
Oh my god, I can't win.
Relics of Rajavihara is one that I should not have backed this. In fact, this is their second campaign. I didn't back it the first time round. And then people just liked it. And my big problem was I was like, I wouldn't get Rush Hour, so why would I get this? But it looks so much fun, and it's a fun little puzzle. And then Jeremy Howard is the one who convinced me to get it. Not because he talked to me, but because I watched him playing a solo Sunday. And I'm like trying to work while I have his solo Sunday on the background. And I'm just like, no, I need to watch what you're doing on the screen there. No, move that block. No, move that block.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. I'm watching along and trying to like figure out the puzzle with him instead of getting any work done. And I was like, at that point, I'll go back to work. I'll just buy the game and I'll move on. And yeah, I backed it. I backed it. I feel shame. Moving on to Roll Camera Reprint and Expansion.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care. Just move on. Just supposed to guess. Yes, next. Yes, no, goodbye. Roll Camera. This is another game that was on Kickstarter. I did not back it the first time.
That means nothing anymore.
This is the B-Movie expansion, introducing new mechanics to Roll Camera, which is a cooperative game in which you roll dice and you assign them to various locations to basically shoot the scenes of your movie. You have certain things you're trying to shoot the scenes of your movie. You have a variety of zones, you have different characters, you have different abilities, so you have different things you can do. You're trying to create the scene, you have certain requirements in the top of the corner that you totally can't see based on where we are on the screen over here, but different small things that you're doing. You have situational, slightly polyomino center spaces you're working with in terms of trying to assign what goes where. And then you have one of the key things is you have these cards that are, you have two different types of cards. You have these danger cards up top, which are things that happen, come on screen, representing stuff that's going on in your film. So you're like, oh no, the director refuses to work with any of the actors. And you have a new sort of threat that you're dealing with. And then you have all these idea cards where you're like, we're gonna put on fake mustaches on all the actors so the director thinks they're different. You have this
I was gonna say a teenager will come and save the world.
A teenager will come and save the world. So you have both threat cards that are giving you funny but also semi-accurate to what would happen on a set situations, and then you have idea cards of semi-funny likely things that would not happen on a set solutions. Along the way, you're basically trying to film the movie before you run out of either money or time. You could run out of either of those, so you have to make sure you get both done, and you're either trying to make a movie that's so good that it wins, or so bad that you get points for making a movie that bad. But you can't be in the middle.
I don't know.
I know you don't know. That's the best part.
You backed it.
I did not back it.
Oh my gosh, I give up. We can all go home. I'm done.
Yeah, I played this one with Jesse, actually. I played this one in the Crackaloo. I enjoyed it. It was fun, a little on the lighter side. And I just didn't see myself, it's always one I'm happy to play, but I didn't see myself requesting to play it. It's one that, I think I want to play it more, actually, but not enough to back it, at least not right now. That's Roll Camera.
Badly.
What?
I'm doing so badly.
You were doing great at the beginning.
Yes, for the first 3. Yes. I did great.
Yeah, that's basically Roll Camera, B-Movie, and Expansion. Then we have Scandaloh. Scandaloh, Unravel the Scandal. This is you're like, I don't know. From the creators of Awkward Guests, 1 to 6 players. This is from the company's name. That was so quick. No, I backed it. Mega...
I'm just gonna stay down here.
Scandaloh. Become an investigative journalist in search of the next big scandal. This is a deductive or inductive reasoning style. I think it's probably deductive. I don't know. It's a deductive style game. This is a sequel to Awkward Guests, which is actually right on the shelf there next to you. You see right there?
Which one?
That's the one. Can you get it out without hitting the table?
No.
Nope, apparently not. Slide it a bit, maybe. Nope. Can you angle it? Nope. Apparently got a thing stuck in there. We'll get it out later. The table's in the way. This table, which is a new table, is kind of positioned it's from the link in the description down below to the table. It's always in the videos. But it's from Bad Pass Design, and we put the table in front of a few cubbies, so some games have been locked in since we've done that. But either way, we'll figure it out later. But yeah, Scandaloh is a sequel to Awkward Guests. This is one that the idea is you're uncovering the scandal and you're trying to figure out what's going on. One of these 5 celebrities is hiding some dirty secrets. So Awkward Guests is more of a deductive who killed who situation, and this is more about the scandal and what's going on. Same basic high notes as far as the gameplay that's hitting, but this is one where I haven't yet played Awkward Guests. I want to play Awkward Guests. I need to finish the rules for it.
Oh, I thought Awkward Guests was a different game.
What do you think it was?
The one with the pictures.
I don't know what that means at all.
You stand all the people up.
No, that is Picture Perfect. Yeah, this is Awkward Guess is more of a full-on deduction game. The one that I want to play with you.
Better.
Which I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, I would play it.
But this is like it's basically like Clue if Clue were like full of actual gameplay and not just like roll and move, whatever it is.
Okay.
Anyways, that's Scandaloh. I backed it purely on the reputation of the game, of being amazing, blah, 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 good stuff, all those things. And I like deduction in general in games.
I know.
Next up, she's already given up. Shasn Azadi. What will freedom cost?
No idea.
It's like, I don't know, half an hour of me being wrong, that's what it'll cost. Shasn Azadi is basically a political maneuvering game where you're faced with this. It's a combination of theme and gameplay in the sense that you're constantly being presented with questions, like moral questions of what will you do. So like you're dealing with like there's a degree of gameplay, but there's a degree of oh, the people are starving, and what do you do, this or that? And then those things have a gameplay impact. So it's half the thematic aspect that Crackalopes like so much, half the mechanical aspect that I enjoy, and this is a sequel to the original Shasn.
Can you flip that coin again?
What has means what?
Yes.
Okay. Well, actually, let me do it this way. I'm gonna flip the coin, and I'll have in my head what it is. I'm gonna flip it. Okay, I know what it is.
Tails.
It is tails. But what does it mean?
You backed it.
I did not back it.
No, I didn't.
So this, I did not back Shasn Azadi. So like some of the ones that she guessed until now, Shasn Azadi
They look like ones you would like.
Well, I did back Shasn Azadi. I actually did back it, and then I canceled my pledge because self-control.
That doesn't count.
I canceled my pledge, self-control. I was like, no, I'm not sure if or when I'll get played.
If you hit the pledge button at least one time.
Well, so it's even better than that. So Shasn Azadi is what. No, it's not how it works.
I get this point. You backed it at least once.
But then you get the point for, what's the other one I canceled? I canceled, no, what did I cancel? There's another one I canceled here. Did we slide it to the end? Oh, to keep the dragon, keep the heroes out.
Oh, yes.
I canceled that one too, although I'm backing that one again. Shasn Azadi supposedly it's a longer game and one that might be harder to table. It looked really cool. Really, really, really cool. The good news is after the Kickstarter is over, they actually reached out in terms of sending out copies of the original Shasn, so I will be getting a copy of the original Shasn to review, but Shasn Azadi is one that I canceled before, finding that out. In general, by the way, sometimes when I'll get games for review, especially for games I covered here and there, the way I treat this whole should you back it or what not should you back it of what I backed is I talk about it what I think I would have done regardless of what goes on with what copies I get. But moving on, so Shasn Azadi, I'll be getting the original. That's the problem. There's 22 games here.
Keep going.
22. What's scrolling?
No.
Oh, next one?
Next game.
Next
it's
up.
late already.
Snapshot, wildlife photographer.
I don't know.
Well, so far, at this point, just go with your instinct and change your mind. Snapshot. This is a one where you're photographing wildlife in this game. I can't remember what the details were of this. You're rolling dice, and you're assigning your dice to various cards. You're trying to gather these things, and I don't remember all the details of it. No, I did not back it.
Oh, thank God. I finally got one.
I was actually tempted to back it. The problem with this one is the international shipping basically made it so that the game basically went up ridiculous amounts to whatever. It's a $25 game that becomes like a $40 game with shipping. I just wasn't interested enough to do that. But it looked cool. Looked like a fun little puzzle of a game.
I have a quarter of my mind. Never mind.
Stefan Feld City Collection. New York City and Marrakesh.
Yes, you did.
Nope, I didn't.
It's a Stefan Feld game!
So, starting off the bat, I knew that as soon as we got to this one, you would assume I guessed I got it. I knew that she would do this. I knew that she would see Stefan Feld and think, of course you got it, because Stefan Feld.
I had my mojo back.
Yes. So here's the problem.
Why did you not back it?
Okay, let's scroll down to the pledge levels over here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here's the all-in pledge for these 4 games. 4 games.
Oh.
Yes.
Fine.
4 games. This is Stefan Feld City Collection. I actually played Marrakesh. New York City, I believe, is the reprint of Rialto, which was an original one that I liked Rialto. We liked Rialto. We played it way back in the day with you. It has canals, and you're connecting different areas and whatnot. It's a long time ago.
Oh, that's a really old one.
Apparently she remembers. Good on you. Yeah, that was one of the first Stefan Feld games we
Yeah.
played. It's also one of my least favorite from his. Not that I don't like it. I do like it. But I like...
my least favorite out of all of his.
He has a lot of amazing games, and that was one that I was sold on at all. And then Marrakesh is actually fantastic. I think you'd really like Marrakesh. There's a lot going on in it. It's a fantastic game. Also, I'll wait till retail or some cheaper option or something. I don't know, but it's not one. Well, this is another good example. It's one that I might get a review copy. I don't know. I do work with Queen Games and stuff, but it's not one that I was willing to back. The price point was unfortunately too high. Looks all premium. Looks deluxe. You get all the pretty stuff and the inserts and all those things. I definitely want it. but not enough to pay that much money for a Euro game, especially when there's other Stefan Feld games that are fully available in print. Very much interested in it. This is part of the City Collection. If you want all 4 games...
We never played the other one.
So we have played... So this is a reprint series. So they have some games in here. This is actually a reprint of Bruges and Macau, which you've played both of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's Bruges, Macau, and Rialto, which you've played all 3 of. And then Marrakesh is the only one that's actually new.
Okay.
Yep, that's the Stefan Feld City Collection. All fantastic games to various degrees. I would rank them Bruges, Marrakesh, Macau, and then Rialto, which I guess technically, if you're using these titles, it would be... I don't remember which one's which. Which one's Hamburg? Is Hamburg Bruges? I can't remember.
Hamburg.
I think Hamburg is Bruges. So it would be Hamburg, Marrakesh, Amsterdam, New York. That would be the order I rank them in. Hamburg.
Oh, Hamburg.
Hamburg. Is that where the beers are? Anyways, moving on to Tales from the Red Dragon Inn. This is a dungeon crawler-esque game from the world of the Red Dragon Inn, which is a game system I've never actually played and you've never heard of. But it's a more of a party-ish game, but this one's not a party game. This is using that world, giving you a dungeon crawling experience with a variety of heroes and stuff and fighting and things and what's going on in that picture. I have no idea. Flying goat. Yep, exactly. Unique maps, characters, armors, gear, all that typical stuff you get in a dungeon crawler.
No.
I did not back it.
I think it's okay.
I didn't know enough about the world of Red Dragon Inn. I never really got into, so there was no pull or draw there. And from then, it just becomes another, $100 game that I may or may not play, along with a list of other $100 games that I would rather play that I know more about. It was not a critique against the game, more just that I have limited interest and shelf control and all of that. Moving on, we have the Stuff of Legend, the board game. This is a game that is basically Stuff Fables. What?
It's just fun.
Stuff of Fables, if Stuff Fables were more grown up or whatnot. This is based on the New York Times bestseller book or comic or graphic novel, whatever it is, involving a boy who's kidnapped and the toys go off and search for him. There's a boogeyman. What?
Toy Story?
No, not Toy Story. No. In Toy Story, the toys are kidnapped. The boy's just fine. But Andy's doing fine. Andy's okay. But anyways, the toys are going after the boy, try to help rescue him. There's a boogeyman. There's a degree of a traitor mechanic. One of the players playing might actually be a traitor toy working for the other side. I did not back this one. This is a fun game. I actually had the chance to play this one. I enjoyed it, but I did not love it. It was one that there's so many mechanics, there's so many games that have a traitor element to them, and I like them better. I found Stuff of Legend to be a solid game, very thematically appropriate, very thematically well done. Mechanically, though I had a few small nitpicks and complaints, and not one that I felt inclined to spend $100 on getting, or less than that, but somewhere in that range. Moving on, we have ThreeTale. ThreeTale, a co-op adventure board game for 1 to 3 players. You travel from ancient times, dystopian world, all that. This is a game where you have a bunch of characters. You're leveling up your characters as you wander. It's almost like a little Carcassonne-ish style map. I'm trying to find a better picture here. Where you're going to be playing down different tiles. You have these characters and whatnot. You're playing down different tiles as you move around to unlock different things. And every turn you can move your characters and start leveling up and buffing up. So you can try to go for treasure chests. You can try to level up your stats. You can try to level up different things that will give you more movement, more actions, more everything in the game as you go through it. Solo game, and then there's like an end game. So like, you have different end games over here. This final quest is the 9 Rings of Creation. It's basically Lord of the Rings, but not Lord of the Rings. They have different like these end game scenarios that you go through as you figure it out. It's basically, I call it stat building the board game. You build up your stats, you go on an adventure, and then you have an end game scenario.
You think you backed it? Maybe yes.
I did.
Oh, okay.
What makes you say that?
I heard you talk about it.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I really enjoyed ThreeTale. ThreeTale is a lot of fun. Like I said, stat building the game, but I really enjoy the process of building up my stats. I really enjoy the process of executing on the combination of different abilities as you level up your characters. You're going to be, no matter what you do, you're controlling 3 characters, so you're always controlling 3, which works really well solo, works really well when you're playing with 3. When you're playing with 2, you're kind of half controlling, sharing control over a character, which is just a little awkward. So it says 1 and 3 player game. You could definitely play it as 2, but I do think it's a step down. It's not the ideal player count, but it's a functional player count. But that is ThreeTale. Moving on, we have, why is this not on the bottom? Let me scroll that down. Okay, we have Tiles of the Arabian Nights.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It is so pretty. Explore the hidden secrets of the desert and impress the Sultan with the unforgettable tales in this unique storytelling adventure game. What does that mean? She went from like, it's so pretty to I will never touch this. Okay, so basically you collect these like goods. You have to collect these various like items. You collect a sword and a camel and a thing and a thing. And then when you get all your goods, you have to like give a bit of a story to the players of what happened and how you acquire those things and a little bit of
Dear Lord, no.
I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. Did I back it though?
No.
I did not back it. The mechanical aspect of the game actually looked fine. Like I didn't look into it that much because it looked fine. But then the storytelling aspect of the game, she doesn't do this stuff, and neither do I. I like narrative games, to be very clear. Narrative games are great, but this isn't narrative. This is, I now have to make up a story. So, for example...
Why is it here?
Why is it on this page?
Yeah.
Because mechanically it's a weird thing, because why can't I just play the game and simply not do that story part?
That is the question I always have.
So why don't... That's why it's here, because technically speaking, if you ignore the story, the gameplay looked pretty and looked fun and accessible.
No.
So if you ignore the story completely, but you see you're doing the same thing I'm doing. You're saying, well, of course you can ignore the story, but you're also saying no, not even there. The fact that it wanted the story is enough for me.
Correct.
Yeah, that's kind of where
What if you missed a rule and it does make the story part in one instance?
Well, that's relevant too, but I can't imagine why that'd be essential. The players aren't like voting on who has the best story, and if they are, you just flip a coin instead. I was intrigued by the gameplay, but my logic for it was if the storytelling is a selling point of the game, then I wonder if it holds up as a good enough game if you remove the storytelling. So I was intrigued by the game. It looks very pretty, but that storytelling was a flag as far as not being a game for me. Moving on, I think we have 2 left. Moving on to Verdant. Well, yes, I did back this one. Yeah, that's basically all you need to say. This is from Flat Out Games. I already love Calico and Cascadia. My personal favorite is Cascadia. I believe your personal favorite was Verdant.
I don't know which one it is anymore.
Your personal favorite was Verdant. We have video proof of you talking about it.
That is true.
But I think Calico and Cascadia have both gone up for you since then.
I know.
So that's the tricky part.
I don't know.
Versus
I like them all equally.
Verdant we actually sent on, so we haven't played Verdant more. So I don't know where Verdant ends up for you. But yeah, we backed this one. I like the system and the genre of games. Wall
it's the
Verdant.
only plants you can keep alive.
It's only plants you can keep alive. Yeah, that's Verdant. It's from Calico. Wait, did this end in October? Did this end in October? It's the 8th. I don't even know if it ended. Did I get the dates wrong in this one? Updates. October 28th. It ended October. Perfect. I wasn't sure for a second. I couldn't remember when it ended. But yeah, Verdant. We backed Verdant. That's basically that. And lastly, we have Voidfall. Voidfall from Mind Clash Games. This is another 4X game, another gigantic galaxy exploring one. This one I didn't play. Has co-op, competitive, solo.
You did or didn't play it?
I did not play this one.
I don't know. What if we just call it halvesies and you couldn't give me a clue?
No clues. You decide.
You backed it.
I did not back it.
Oh well.
She's like, I don't even care anymore. It's so far gone. Yeah, Voidfall, I didn't back it. I have a pretty simple rule with Mind Clash, which is I like all of their campaigns. I want to back all of their games. But I have Anachrony on my shelf, and until I play it, I refuse to back a Mind Clash game. I need to get Anachrony played. It's a shame. It's a crying shame. It's supposed to be an amazing game. I just haven't played it yet. Which brings us to the one you skipped on, which is Don't Go In There.
You said you didn't back it.
I did not.
But I want it.
That's not what I said.
Well, what's your question?
This was a question. You're talking about keep the heroes.
No, I want that one too.
You want Don't Go In There?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, did I back it?
No.
I did not back it. But apparently we're getting it. This is the... So you're going to play... Just to be clear.
I ended with getting it right. Ha ha ha, go me.
Just to be clear, you're going to play this one with me.
Yeah, no, it has ghosts.
It has ghosts. The rule...
Ghosts are fine, I just don't do zombies.
Well, I mean, you do zombies, technically. Do you do zombies? I don't even know. Anyways, we'll see. Zombies. So, which brings us to the final part, which we do in these videos, which is...
if you could only back...
If I could only back 3, and if I could only back 1, which one would I have backed?
Okay. ThreeTale.
Okay, that's 1.
He-Man thingy.
Master of the Universe, that's 2. Do you want the 6 I backed for remembering? Mm-hmm. Okay, the 6 I backed for context were, before the 2 you're making me back, but the 6 I backed were ThreeTale, He-Man, Verdant, the Relics of Rajavihara, the solo game, the, what's it called? Scandaloh, and Beast.
Beast is the third one.
Beast is the third one. Good job. And if I can only back 1 of them.
ThreeTale.
No.
Beast.
Interesting you put Master. I thought you would have guessed for Master of the Universe.
No, because we have Rise of Mala.
That's right. That's why Master of the Universe was the lowest of the three. Actually, I don't know if it was the lowest. I didn't actually think through the order. I know that I put Beast first. Beast is one that I absolutely loved. Really enjoyed that one. Looking forward to diving into it again and again. It's one that I went online to play it again after reviewing it. I don't like playing games online at all. I do it because I have to. But I did it for Beast and I had no regrets. It was a great experience. Better in person, but it's still a solid game that I was happy to play online. That's basically it. Those are the Kickstarters that we backed in October. Backed in October.
It is cold outside.
It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. We're all alone, more or less. You know what that's from. Or you probably don't know what that's from, but some of you know what that's from, and that's good stuff. But anyways, and you made me back 2 games. Don't go in there and keep the heroes out. That's it's been a while since you made me back some things. Cool. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Ratcliffe.
I'm Rena.
And have a good one.
Look how cute the dragon is.
It's adorable.
It is so cute. I mean, look how cute this skull is. And look at the little ghost. It has such an attitude.
I know. I'll go ahead and late pledge. Ooh, late pledge buttons. Late pledge buttons. And late pledge buttons. Good. I need to go find this. Sometimes you tell me to back things and there's no late pledges. And then I feel bad. As a human being. Just in general.
It's okay. They wouldn't come for a year from now anyway.